That wasn't great, was it? And I'll be honest, it doesn't get much better. So you're joining me for a look at two matches here for Leeds from the 24-25 season, that's last season at the time of writing, in Division 1 in England. If you're new here, my name is George. I'm a volleyball player and coach. I live and work in Denmark at the moment. But last season, I was playing back in England for Leeds. And we were so far this season undefeated. We played some of the best teams in the league away and only dropped a couple of sets. We had what on paper should be two more winnable games here against Tamworth and Cambridge. All the way around. This is Cambridge. Next up is Tamworth. And as the title suggests, and you're seeing in these first few clips, this is not the highest level volleyball you will ever see. So why should you keep watching? Well, partly because it's quite funny. This rally in particular is absolutely horrendous. Shank the pass, Peppermint shanks the dig up, Adam has to give him over free ball, and then I just stand and watch as the guy rolls it into the corner. Absolutely awful. Anyway, slightly make up for it with a better reception there, and we have a sub Nathan on to set for Zach and Dan on outside. Much he does dump that one in the net, he then gets on the roids and serves many balls in a row to get us back into the set and fire things up a little bit because we, as I say, we started this set very badly. Anyway, so as I was saying, a few reasons to watch. Firstly, it's quite entertaining. Secondly, occasionally there are actually some good rallies and some decent moments. We do block pretty well in these matches. That's a good example from Nelson. You see Pete getting fired up on the sideline, and that's the last thing we'll get out of these videos. Is I can talk a bit about how to beat teams that are on paper maybe slightly weaker than you. As much as we play terribly, as you can see from Nathan tripping over Nelson there as they run in. I don't really know whose fault that is, but it's funny either way. But we do still win games. We do still win both games 3-0. Okay, so even if it's a bit tight, this first set, I think it's 25-23, every other set from these two games is pretty comfortable. And here's a good example. You see again, Pete and Simon getting really fired up from the sidelines. And that's a big thing. Sometimes when you play teams that you feel like, oh, we should beat them easily, another decent block there, you can get a little bit arrogant and feel like, oh, we almost don't want to celebrate too much, right? Because like, we should be winning easy. Shouldn't be a big deal for us. We should just turn up, clap them, go home. But sometimes you can't do that, right? You know, if everything's going really well, you start 10-0 up, and a great serving run, yeah, the pressure's off, you can relax a little bit, sort of just tick over. But when you start terribly, like we did here, and then you do start to get back into things, you've got to respect the other team a bit more, treat this like a really serious game, and get fired up. So when you get stuff blocks like this, you've got to go nuts. You've got to find the energy and bring it back up. And with that, we managed to take the first set. And after that sort of scare, we've been woken up a little bit, and we start to play some better volleyball. So a good clean side out, nice hit down the line from Dan. Here we go, look, see, it's not all bad. We've got a over 30-second rally coming up here with some actually quite decent blocking from both teams. And you get a lot of good attacks. I mean, that was probably more the net than the block, but generally some good block defense from both teams, and then some good cover as well. Something happens, I'm not entirely sure what, that the Cambridge coach, the player coach, is not pleased with. See a bit of theatrics on the side. I can't really tell. I've tried to watch it back. Yeah, he's pointing. I don't know what it was, but I don't know. Give him the benefit of that. He was probably right. We got away with something, or we didn't get away with it. They still won the point. One of the dead giveaways, this is a bit of a sloppy game, well, it's a nice surfer, is the number of balls that have just hit full power, like properly cream crackered into the net tape. I think the net wins the point in this rally, but just so many times the net is seriously rattling. That's a nice high B though, and then takes a high, but there we go. Whack. First meter kill, unplayable. Okay, so what's another key ingredient then when playing weaker teams when you want to try and beat them hopefully comfortably? So we talked about getting fired up still and really sort of killing them with some energy and some momentum. That can make a big difference, especially when you're up. If you do go up comfortably, really let them know. Yeah, what's another point? Well, we saw it from Dan earlier, which is consistent serving. If you can go back and reliably put in, a tough ball, it doesn't have to be a rocket, but just a tough, decent ball, the break points will usually take care of themselves. Because if you are the, on paper better team, one of the things that's likely to be the case is you'll just make less errors, less unforced errors, less hitting out, less, not double touches anymore, but double touches this time, and just generally sort of sloppy stuff. And you see this a lot more in the second match against Tamworth, as that was quite a nice rally to be fair. Although we lost the point somehow, I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, you see that they get stuck in rotations where we don't really do anything special, we just put a half decent serve in and they hit out. And you're going to get a lot more of those points, as I say, if you are the, on paper, better team. So generally, you need to be pretty consistent with your serving and trust your block defense. This is a better rally though, isn't it? Look at this. It's some volleyball here. Won't hit that hard. Bloody hell. I will say though, however, there is a big caveat to what I just said, and this is a trap I think teams fall into, is they see the other team, maybe especially at the start, they make a couple of errors, they do something really bad. and then they think, oh, these guys are rubbish. We just need to give them the ball and we insta-win because we have a better squad on paper, or we're higher in the league, or they lost last game to someone we're battered. So that means they're terrible. So we just insta-win when we walk on court. And that's a massive, massive trap. You still have to take the game to the other team. There's the net winning another point, which means much as I'm saying, be sensible with your serve and don't blast it. You also need to still put a bit of heat on it. You can't just go back and serve free balls. You can't just give away tons of free balls. You still need to take a risk, run the middle, get up and triple block, even if probably maybe percentage-wise it makes sense to stay down. It's like kind of a fake it till you make it. You're playing the style of volleyball you would play against the better team to sort of make yourselves still turn up and play. Oh, that was a nice serve. Because I think the single biggest reason teams will struggle when playing teams that they should, again, on paper, yeah, Nelson, get involved in the defense. Well, we've got to see what happens this Friday now. It's exciting. Oh, he's got another one. Go on. Nathan saves it. No, he doesn't. Dan probably should have had that, but never mind. Still 2 digs from Nelson. I'm happy. Pipe. I'm getting distracted now. We're playing some good volleyball. Anyway, what was I saying? So, yeah. The big problem, I think, overall that teams want to do is they get tight because they sort of panic and go, well, why aren't we winning? We're supposed to be winning. They're not that good. And maybe you get a point like that, where Nelson just makes it look so easy. Up high, above the block. Obviously, it being Nelson often looks very easy. But you can get lots of balls where you feel like you keep going to your big header and they just can't score, and you start to panic and go, whoa, but it was really easy earlier. That's a nice save. Yeah, what's going on there? It's chaos. Dylan's now on. Power tip. High set. Stay inside the block. Okay, that's not their best hit. Anyway, right, I've got to stop getting distracted. Although we're coming towards the end of the game, I'll finish my point about getting tight in the next game. Josh comes on to serve. Spin to win. No, not spin to win, but it was a good serve anyway. I think this is spin to win. And slightly fluffy over pass from Powell. Josh remembers where he's playing. Don't know what they've called, but double touch, our point, and that's the game. 3-0. Happy days. Good job. Still undefeated. On to the next one. Brief interruption to talk about Patreon. If you like these videos and want to support what I'm doing, then the best way to do that is over on Patreon. You get videos a day early, first access to any new rounds of online coaching, and a shout out in every video. So without further ado, thank you so much to Finn, Will, Kimmy, Lucas, Equinox109, Charlie, Thomas, Harry, and newest member, Barney. Thank you again so much. Back to the video. Okay, back in our proper home venue, this time to play Tamworth. I think there was exams or something on when this game was played, so we couldn't play at Gorse, the school we normally play. That is such a pathetic pipe. My shoulder was quite hurty this game, so I really didn't hit balls. Even less hard than usual. Nice start from Tamworth though. Yes, so we had to play the game at another school in the trust that the club uses, which is very lucky to have the option of another place, although it's not the best sports hall in the world because it is pretty chilly in there. Probably the coldest sports hall, bar maybe All Saints in Sheffield that I've ever played in, which is not ideal. I honestly felt very cold just watching it back. And the floor is rock solid. The floor in Gorse here is really nice and springy. But after a few days of training in Stephen Longfellow, you really feel it in your knees. Anyway, we do a better job getting off to a good start against Tamworth. I think in every set we go up with a relatively healthy lead quite early on. Oh, damn, the reverse. There we go. Another classic roll shot. Well to pull my hands out. It was sensible. Oh, here we go. Playing some better volleyball. No ways to get this. That would have been impressive. Yeah, so this game is much more comfortable and a bit less stressful than the previous one. 20 man. Nice defense. So we're missing a few players or a slight change in personnel. I'll be honest, this game being a year ago, that's a nice line hit. I can't really remember why, but a big testament to the junior program that they have up in Leeds. That also getting a lot of balls at the minute. It's exciting. But it didn't massively show. We had lots of options to come on. So you see Nathan came on to that last game, Josh came on to serve, we have Eman and Dylan both playing libero, Pepe Bean playing libero last game as well, not a junior, but a good experienced player. Keep getting distracted when there's a long rally and forget to make my point. Another pipe, another roll shot. If I could actually hit it, then this would look quite good. Good free ball. So Adam, bang. That was a good hit, except he put it a foot wide. Otherwise, that was a really cool rally. Right. Anyway, as I was saying at the end of the last game, the really important thing is to not get tight. And in this game, that's such a good hit down the line from Dan. Jeez. Anyway, in this game, that was done or achieved much more easily because we got off to a good start So it was easy just to feel comfortable and relaxed. We always had that point cushion. But it's when maybe you start a set badly or they start really well and you're just sort of trading for a while, and that takes us into the second set, that serve out, that you can start to get a bit panicky, and then you get really narrow in your play style. Maybe you serve super safe, you just set every ball to your biggest hitter, and you lose the freedom and the confidence that makes you a good team that would normally then beat these teams comfortably. So you have to sort of find that play style no matter what. And that's where, like I say, the sort of fake it till you make it approach can be quite helpful with some small changes that you know you would do when playing your best volleyball, like setting the middle a lot, or jump serving, not float serving, assuming you can be consistent enough for it to be sensible. Because there's a fine line between doing that and just being reckless and going, oh, well, I need to try and play well in quotes, so I hit everything as hard as I can and play like an idiot. I've done my best to try and keep the quality up a little bit, but speaking of quality, that's very good middle blocker defense from Simon. I think many middles would have got really excited about a dig and dug the ball probably straight into the ref stand. But sensible Simon leaves it confidently. Well done, that man. But Dan is on the roids in this game, jeez. Anyway, like I said, tried to keep the quality up in the highlights as much as possible, but there are a few balls I've had to include because they are just an absolute circus. You saw one in the intro. That's another one. I have absolutely no idea what Dan's doing there. Although, to be fair, from his reaction, Dan's a pretty honest guy. Claims he didn't touch the net. So we'll take him at his word. Maybe it was a bad call, who knows. Someone certainly touched the net. Powell on to serve now. Oh, another overpass. I'm having a field day on these in a minute. Again, it's so not decisive, but anticlimactic. It's like a nice overpass that should be bounced into the ceiling. Unfortunately, it's fallen to the wrong player. Someone who doesn't hit the ball very hard and has a bad shoulder. Yeah, that's a double touch. I'm not sure anyone wants to see that. You wouldn't see that these days though, would you? Wouldn't be a cool. I wonder what people think about that rule change. I have to make a video on it at some point. Let me know in the comments though if you have any thoughts. Do you like there being no doubles? Do you hate it? Anyway, Josh is on to set now. And then I dig a free ball into the ceiling. Really pushing the limits of volleyball here. And then it's a low set. Does well to save it. I think that takes us into the third set. 2-0 up. Nice and comfy. That's a good save for me, man. And that's a pretty easy tip from Dan, and I'm not quite sure how they didn't come back over. As I say, some wibbly wobbly volleyball on display here. Another net tape. That's more like it. That's quite a Chad block. Good serve, ZGH. Getting a free ball. Will this be good volleyball or bad volleyball? Make your guess. It's a very low set in the net tape again. A good bad one, I guess you could say. Another net tape, slide tackles it to keep it up, doesn't work out. I think the net's got more kills than anyone else's game. That's another foot, and another ball doesn't come back over the net. Serve was going out. Nice push from Josh to get that reverse. Foul on the opposite now. That's a big block. I love the lottery of this. You never know at any point. Is it going to be horrendous, or is it going to be quite good? So exciting. That was a good block as well. So there's one thing we did surprisingly well in these games, because I would say if you look at all of the main bits of volleyball, serve, pass, attack, block, defend. Oh my god, what is that? What has happened there? Maybe Adam called a fast ball and Zach didn't hear him or decided not to. That was awful. And this isn't a lot better. To be fair, it's quite a good save from George and Zach to get the ball over. And then I get a really easy defense and stick it too tight. Maybe Zach could do better with it and does do well to save it, and George spatters it in the net. Maybe there was a block touch. Who knows? As I was saying, of the sort of 5 main areas of volleyball, I would say Leeds this season, our biggest weakness was blocking. Not biggest weakness in terms of it cost us games, but just of those 5 things, it was the thing we were worst at. I really don't think we're a good blocking team at all. But this game, we've got loads of blocks. There's another one. Oh no, it was on their side of the net. Never mind. Well, there have been lots of good blocks. Good pass from Dan. Really good pass from there, especially. That's a classic. Trademark is my favourite shot in volleyball. Flat roll shot over the block. Anyway, when the serve is right down to position 1 and you're playing it sort of from the sideline back in, it's really hard and really important to try and get the ball in front of the setter so they can move forward to set. Good try Zach on the swing there. Another block. No, okay, this one will come back. Ooh, nice hit. Nice angle. Anyway, yeah, and probably so long ago now because I've got distracted again, but you've forgotten it. But if you remember, another one in the net tape. It was a good pass because Dan does well to get the ball back inside towards position 3. I always try and really exaggerate that when I'm passing from 1. This rally again is another cracker. Decent serve, a really good pass, and then Dan commits from the middle, gives the opposite a free net, who gives us a free ball. We slightly whiff the attack in the middle, that's a nice dig. High out of system set. Good block touch. Better one back. Rafa Nadal, big left hand. And big block from Dan into the face and into orbit. Point for Tamworth. Last few points of the game there, just need to see things out. Good pass from Dylan. That's another one, comes back to the middle. Zach saves it, that's a big bounce. See, there you go, that's some good volleyball. We like that volleyball. Spin to win, out the back, never mind, just need to side out for the match and for 6 points. And they serve out. So that is the side out. Bish bash bosh. 2 games, 2 wins, 0 sets dropped. Good time was had by all. Slightly different format this time, sticking just to the volleyball, and I'll cover some other bits and bobs about my life in Leeds in a separate video. You have to join us next time for the big one. It's our cut match against Super League team Newcastle Knights.